Good morning and a very warm welcome to one and all. We are very sorry that there was a tiny little glitch and we realized that it was for a much bigger number, but then the Zoom ID can take only so many. So we are going to broadcast a link for the parents so as soon as you all see the link in your phones, can you please pass it on to your friends so that they can also see? We'll be posting in a short while the link for live streaming. So we had thought about having this phonic workshop in the beginning of the year so that we can empower the parents as you all are our extended arm. And these days, children cannot do very well in the school without consistent daily help at home. And stop, there's a lot of noise coming, so I need to inform the children. Just a second, please. So sorry. Yes. So now we just wanted the idea behind this session is to keep the parents in the loop on how we teach English in the school and how they can also teach the same way so that the child doesn't feel confused. Because if you're teaching in a different way and we're teaching with another methodology, then it's difficult to undo what is being done to the child. He's totally confused. So normally we teach phonetically and the whole phonic program takes at least 4 years. So don't expect wonders in KG1 and KG2. You have to keep on teaching them in the same way in class 1 and class 2. And that's how slowly the children will start reading phonetically. Now, the mode of communication in school is only and only English. And the facilitators are asked to refrain from speaking to the children in any other language, as it slows the process of learning the language. So what we do, if a child is speaking in any other language, we try to decipher, we use the help of other teachers who are from different parts of India. And then what we do is that we answer to the child in English and we start giving the child the vocabulary for what he was asking in the regional language. So this way we try to build a child's vocabulary in the first 6 months. And we also counsel the parents that one of the parent can start speaking to the child in English. And you don't have to use very hi-fi language, just simple language, open, close, in, out, throw things in the bin, bag, open the zip, simple, useful vocabulary for a KG1 child or a KG2 child to start learning and be confident of the vocabulary. So it will help your child to understand the instructions given in the class by the teacher, because most of the time what happens is it's not that the child doesn't know. The child did not understand what the teacher was teaching or was trying to tell the child because he doesn't know English. So it would help us a lot if one of the parent can speak little bit in English in the house. And even the moms, you all can, if you don't know English, try talking to your child. You will be building your language along with your child's. And nobody is there to judge, but at least the child will benefit from it. So in kindergarten, our approach towards English is totally phonic. We start with the lowercase letters, orals, and we try to read as much as possible phonetically. So here is one confusion that I would want all the parents to please pay attention and check. So here is my screen, and you can see this is the common mistake that the parents make. Now look. Children are very small They cannot understand. These are two different shapes. Any letter. Now, we teach them this is A, but this is A. We have to be. So now, if you all can see, this is one mistake that a lot of parents are making. They call the lowercase letter also as a letter name, A. Now, if you pick up a book and you read, capital letters are not there. They're only there at the beginning of a sentence. Apart from that, it's only small letters that a child sees. And those letters are different than what you're teaching. So please, kindergarten, KG1 and KG2 parents, it's our humble request to you all. Please call the letter, the capital letter as M or A or D or F, which you have learned. But the small letters have to be taught phonetically. So M, but the small letter is Ma. Please teach them Ma or A or F or G or La. So we would want you all to please see. This is G. Don't call this G. This is not G. This is G. See, children are very small. They are trying to remember the letters. So now we have to differentiate for them. So we call them as the letter name and we call these letters as the sound so that it's very easy for the children to remember the shape of the letter. What is Ma and what is M? Because when they're reading, they have to join Ma sound, not M sound. So please, this is our humble request. Please, if you're not confident of the phonic sound, send a message to the parent and ask the parents, ask the teachers to send you the sound of the letter, because sounds are very important if you want your child to read English easily. Any book he can pick up and he'll be able to read if he knows the letter sounds. Now, there's one more small thing. By the time a small child of 4 or 5 years should not be confused of. So this is why another thing. Now, phonics says for letters, they have long sound and short sound. But a 4-year-old child or a 5-year-old child cannot decipher. So we only teach the long sounds because they're just learning to recognize sounds. If we say, children will not get the fa sound. So we call it fa. F, the sound is fa. M, the sound is ma. N, the sound is na. Because it is not only about the sound, it is the letter also they're remembering. Na is a small standing line with a jump and a tail. So we're teaching them the formation, the letter, and the name of the letter as na. We will never mix the capital letter and the small letters. So we will never call a na as N. Please do not do that in the house. If you all can stick to the phonic sounds for the small letters, it will help your child a lot. Then the next is if your child slowly learns to join the first 2 sounds. So remember, this is how we're going to teach, because when you start reading, that's how you start. Your mind is trained to start from the beginning, from the left side. So never teach your child from the right side. All right, start reading the first 2 letters from the beginning and then the end letters. That's how your brain read words. So do not teach them the last sounds. It's only the beginning sound that they need to learn. So we have divided our session into 4 parts, and I would be calling upon our senior facilitator, Ms. Poonam, who will give you an insight about sight words. So there is a difference between reading phonetically and reading a sight. Because if you look at a circle, you don't need to look at this. Nobody has written. You just look at it and you call it a circle. So it's a shape that goes. So for reading sight words, that's the methodology we use. Nowhere it's like they look at the cup and they say, it's cup or it's a tissue. The same way when they look at all those letters together, they just read it. So Miss Poonam, here it's your time. And once again, I welcome you all to this session and hope that it will be worth your while. Thank you.
Thank you, Hina ma'am. Thank you so much. Good morning, dear parents. I'm Poonam, and I'll be taking you from here ahead. Okay. Now, I want to take you from the learning of children from a very young age. Okay. How do they start learning? Okay. Now, Miss Navi, if you can start playing the PPT. Yes. Thank you so much. Now, dear parents, now in initial years, the children learn through signs, symbols, and logos. It's not that we make them learn anything. Now, with the McDonald logo, they know it's McDonald. Even if you say you go to KFC and tell them it's McDonald's, they'll say, no, it's not. Okay, so they learn a lot, and these are few signs, symbols, and logos which they learn from their environment. Now, there is a sign of washroom, and they know when you're in malls or anywhere, they see this and they know, yes, they can use a washroom over there. The next symbol is the light symbol. Here, many children, when we are teaching L or the sound L, now, one child has drawn a thumbs up. I asked her, what's this for love? She said, ma'am, like. So that's how the children are learning now. We used to say lollipops, ladders, lion. Now the children have come up with like. So then we have the food or the drinks that we have, the Pepsi and the Apple logo. This is the most, I think, favorite, because Apple was supposed to be, now when we draw it, it was a full apple always for the children. But few children, they draw where the apple has been, one bite has been taken from it. Okay. So now, because they know this apple more than the actual fruit apple. Okay, so that's how they are learning from the surroundings. Okay, even in the traffic signal, they know when there's the red light, they stop. Even the stop sign, the zebra crossing, they know all of it. We don't have to tell them. Even the chocolates, Ferrero Rocher, Cadbury's, Skittles, M&Ms, all these, they are like, Mama, I want this Skittles, I want the M&Ms. They go with the names. So in initial years, these are all the signs and symbols which come to them as a picture. So they relate these with a design or a picture. Moving on. We have these we call as sight words, because the children nowadays keep seeing these, isn't it? They don't have to know the spelling. They don't have to know what to do with it. But whenever there is a game that they are playing, they know where to start, where to quit. And when they quit or exit, it says yes, no, exit. So they know all these signs, which are actually sight words. Now, skip pad during their YouTubes where they are going on with the rhymes or any stories they're what they're watching in the YouTube. There, they patiently wait for the skip pad and the timer to go as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then they click on it, isn't it? So they know all of these. These are the sight words, but then they know it all. We don't have to teach them. Moving on, how do we teach the sight words in the class? Next slide, please. Yes. So these are the first few sight words that we do in KG2 and a little later part of KG1 also. So these are and, on, she, this, I, he, the, and that. Now, these here are not done with phonics. We don't say another, no. Sight words are basically you see and you learn them. So that's how it goes. We keep showing the children in the initial days, we keep showing them these, just a flashcard, or we write it on the board. So the children keep seeing this, and with the time we start the sentence writing, they know how to use this. So the sentences start with this, where the T is capital. So we teach them the same way. This, that, the are commonly used sight words, which are used very commonly in the sentences that we teach them. Okay, so those are taught with capital or the daddy T. So these are the sight words. They just see and they learn it. Okay, no spellings or anything. It comes to them as a design. And you might have seen few children write it so beautifully, but they will not be knowing the spelling because just they have seen this. It comes to them as a picture and they write it that way. Okay. Later on, they will get the spelling too. So not to worry. Moving on to the daddy and the baby letters. Now we call it daddy and baby. Now here, the daddy letters are the capital letters, we call them. And the babies are baby letters with the sound. We say them, babies make sound. So where we say daddy P, baby comes as P, P. Daddy T and baby T, T. Daddy B and baby B, B. Daddy M and baby M. The phonic sound is M, but so that the children learn, as Hina ma'am said, so we go with M, M. Now, daddy G, and the sound goes G. The same way for all the letters, Now we say it as daddy and baby letters. So daddy, they know, they say it by the name of the letter, but the babies are always with the sound. Okay, tell them the same way the babies make sound. So it's the baby sound. Okay, daddies, it's just the letter name. We move on. Just to add a little bit to that, in KG1, only the sounds of the baby letters are taught, not the capital. Okay, but in KG2, it's the capital letters and the baby letters which go together. Now, coming to phonemes. What are phonemes? Phonemes are the sounds of the letters we use. That's it, pretty easy. Okay, these are the sounds, like different sounds we combine to make word, like p, a, t, bat. So these are three different sounds we have put together to make a word. These sounds form are called the phonemes. So j, a, m, jam. T, I, n, tin. R, e, d, red. M, o, p, mom. So this way, putting the different phonemes or the different sounds of these letters, we get them together to make a word. So in KG2, initially they start by learning by joining two letters like as, a. So this way, two letters are joined in the beginning, and then they learn joining the three words as it is told. So that's with the phonemes. Let's see what is phonics. Yes, it's a method of teaching people to read by correlating sounds with the symbols. Yes, so here we have the sounds, we know the sounds. we combine it with the symbols or the letters, the formation of the letters. Okay, so that is what is phonics. We put this together and we read it. So that is phonics. Okay, like the same way, t, a, p, tap, r, e, m, rim. So this way we try reading it with the help of the sounds when we join it together with the symbols, the written part of it. Okay. So now coming on to the different sounds. We have different sounds. There are 3 different categories. The environmental sounds. Now the environmental sounds are like the rain. When we ask children, they say, shh, water drops, thunder, isn't it? They're all excited with this. The traffic sound, the honking sound, sounds in the kitchen, like running of the mixer grinder, the whistle of a cooker. So these are basically the environmental sounds. Okay, let's hear a few environmental sounds now. Can you hear that? That's the sound of water droplet. There goes the whistle of the cooker. And that was the police siren. Yes, the children are very mesmerized when they hear a police sound, and they are pretty cautious when this sound is heard. Yes, so these are the environmental sounds. Now, moving on to the instrumental sounds. Instrumental sounds like a trumpet or a tambourine or a piano, play piano that they have, or even a simple way where they make the instruments on their own. They can take empty bottles, put in some seeds, or put in some pistachio shells. Just try shaking it. It gives different sounds. So these are the instrumental sounds. We make them hear this when we have rhymes, or we make them sing the action songs, or during the assemblies. So these are the instrumental sounds they learn. Coming on to body percussion. The body percussions, our body also makes sounds. Okay, now body percussions is like a pat or a snap, clap, or stomp. You know, so many other movements where they do the action songs or wherever, we start with this body percussions, and they are very excited. We say pat pat, tap clap, tap tap. So all that, they're very excited to do this. So the children, when they learn these sounds, it's a very, very, very good exercise to develop the phonic sounds. They get the phonic sounds better, and the children learn a lot from their surroundings or the environment. So that's how they discriminate between the different sounds. Okay, so the basic idea here is to give you how to start with phonics. Okay? So with this, I come to the end of this part of our phonics session. I would like to call Ms. Hina Ansari, our AVP ma'am, to take us forward in the journey of phonics. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ms. Poonam. Yes, I'm here. And now, dear parents, this is something that I would want all of you to know. A to Z in order is something your child will use only in kindergarten. Never ever in your child's life is he going to read A to Z or use A to Z. As he grows up, he will learn it in order. So since they're very small, we are not so adamant of teaching the children A, B, C, D in order. Ultimately, they will learn. So what we do is we divide them into different sets according to the, you can say, the strokes that we're teaching, easy to write letters. So ultimately, by the end of the year, they all learn all the letters and we start teaching them A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or Abacada, we sing both the songs together the same way with the same tune. So what we do is we divide them into sets. Now, a lot of parents must have seen the notebooks have gone home, that there are random letters that have happened. In the class, children have colored the pictures. So we divide them as small sets. So if you see, if we introduce a, t, p, I, m, it's very easy because our basic idea is for a child to read or to open a book and should be able to read. So he can, now the books are full of small letters, so the child can identify. So what you all can do in the house, any letter that you see has been introduced, ask your child to just identify letters. He doesn't have to read. That is called reading for a 4-year-old or a 3.5-year-old. Let them identify letters here and there. In the house, you can put those letters, you can put them on the fridge, you can put them, the sets with the teachers teaching, and just not to make them confused, just give the name, the sound of the letter. You call it. When the child becomes confident, he'll start calling also. He will tell you. So we will be teaching them in different order, not as A, B, C, D. So for example, we have just written the letter S, A, T, P, I, M. Or Na, O, L, K, B, H, E, R, F, D. Now, I am calling them by a long sound because children are just learning to differentiate sounds. They're small. So if I say, the sound goes inside. By the time the child is paying attention, he has not heard. He has not really heard the sound. So that is why we make it a very prominent sound and we call it ma, ha, da, na, pa. Now, all of you are educated. You all will understand that when you read, the first sound in a word is always long. The last sound in a word is small. All right. So kindergarten teachers can understand the deciphering phonics, and that's how they're teaching. So we'd say ka. It's a ka long sound if a child is reading cat. Now, if you see, when I pronounce cat, it's a long sound in the beginning, but in the end, the t sound is t. It's a small sound, cat. But if I am saying tap, it's a long sound in the beginning, the same t sound, tap. The p is a small sound. So basically, when we read, anybody who's reading, the first sound, the beginning sound of a word is longer and the ending sounds are shorter. So do not teach only this tiny sound. Teach them the long sound, teach them the short sound, both. So we start in KG1 with the long sound, and then slowly we teach them. By KG2, we start teaching them the shorter sounds also, so that they understand the same letter. The symbol is a letter. It's how it is pronounced. Sometimes it is called ha, and sometimes it's called so they will understand, but in KG1, it is too much for them. Next slide, please. Now, when we go, so let's see. If you have taught them sir, at, or how many words you can write. See, so many with sir, at, per, I, na. You can make so many words. As, am, at, it, is, sat, sit. With those 6 letters, the minute you start teaching, you finish teaching them even 3 letters. If you've taught them sir, at, you can write at, or as, or sir, at, sat. So like you can make small words and you can make a child start reading. And he can start recognizing those 2-letter words or 3-letter words in any book. So in the book, the script is like this. There are hardly any capital letters. So if we don't differentiate it for small children, it becomes very difficult for them to read. Now with joining the sound, they can easily read as, am, at, it is, or when we go on to the next sequence, la, or, then we can make even more. So many words can be made with the letters SATPIM, SATPIM. With this, so many words, so many of the words we can make. So this is why we teach them as not in a sequence, but by the end of it, they will learn all the letters. Next slide, please. Now, the next thing that it's alliteration. Basically, it's just the first sound. Alliterations is a big name. If you all don't remember, you will remember in olden days, they will make you say tongue twisters. Alliterations is kind of the same sound, like simple Simon. Simple is the sound and Simon is the same. So we're teaching the first sound for them to describe the word also. And it's the same sound there, tabletop. So big balloon or blue balloon is the same sound I'm using for both the objects. So these are some of the tongue twisters. So alliterations and tongue twisters are correlated. So like Sheena leads, Sheila needs. Or World Wide Web, 6 sheep. Now, these can be called tongue twisters. They are alliterations. So it's almost the same. It is very nice. You can play this game in the house with any word that you feel. And you can make it funny. The thing is, if you make it into a funny game, your children will learn a lot of vocabulary through this, the alliterations. Next slide, please. Now, in this school, we concentrate a lot on tongue twisters. It is the repetition of the same sound, the same beginning sound. So if we are teaching B, we are introducing the sound B to a child. Now the first, they will always read from the beginning, from the left. So big black bug bit the big black dog on his big black nose. We have tried taking out, these are our own tongue twisters that we make in the school, and we try to give them a lot of vocabulary, a lot of adjectives, a lot of concepts through the same sound. So big is a concept we have given them because we're teaching them big and small. We're teaching them colors. So black is the color. They are saying it. So we are giving them with the same sound, a lot of more vocabulary. All right, so you can make your own funny, and you don't have to stick to the vocabulary. You can just make it very funny. Basically, you are teaching your child the beginning sound, the sound discrimination. So please play these games with your children. It will help you a lot. The next is this is something that we really want you all to. Now we start teaching them the vowels. Now, if you remember, or you pick up any book you have in the house, or you will see, your brain only reads the first 2 sounds, all right, and the last sound, and you get the whole word. Now it is very easy. What we do is we teach them to start joining the first 2 sounds. So if we have taken a vowel, as this is the vowel, and we teach them a long sound, we call it a long sound. We do not teach them a, because look, parents, you all have to understand the difference between, you're teaching very small children. If you don't make this long, your child will be confused with this sound. This is a. This is a. So this has to be long, for a child to understand which letter he has to write. If you don't make the difference or the teachers don't make a difference, then a child is confused between these two letters. All right. If a child has to write sat, so sat, so he will be making this sound. But if he's not confused, he will write this. So that is why we are teaching the children. This is a long sound. We teach only one because in KG, let the children learn the long sound so that they can decipher very easily. Or if you see this vowel, this is it. It's a very tiny sound. But this is eh. This is eh. Eh. Don't call this E. Please do not call this E. This is eh. And this is E. This is the sound E, injection. But see, this is eh, egg. So please, you all have to be very careful when you're teaching the vowel. And this is exactly the vomit sound. Oh, oh, how you vomit. Teach them like that. It's funny and it's nice. Children enjoy. And this is ah. Now, the vowel sounds are very important. So, because your child will be learning. Now, he knows all the consonants we have taught him in KG1. He knows. Now, if he have to join, it is very easy. We teach them. This is a na, or a pa, or a sa, or a ga. Now, with this sound, the child can write so many more words. All right. So can you please turn the slide? Now, dear parents, you all can see. Now, if your child has learned to join these two sounds, see how many sounds he can. He know the consonants. He'll be able ra. With the first two sounds, how many sounds he can read? He can read ran, rag, rat, ram, rap. So the last consonant sound is the end, and that's how you read. You have to read the first two sounds and the last sound. So it is very easy. Now, with this same idea, we read so many big words. Can we go to the previous slide, please? Yes. Now, if you see, we have put all the consonants with, see, if it is a na, we can write nap, nag. But if it is net, we can say net. We can see nip, knob, no, like this nut. So there are so many words that a child can read. So what we do is first we teach them only the long sound a sound. This vowel. Now, we want your child to really read. We don't want them to become rote learners. So gone are the days when I was a kid, or 25 years back when I was teaching, we used to teach the children as cat, bat, mat, cat. We used to teach like this. This is how we were teaching. The thing is, children don't use their brain. For them, it's coming like a picture. They just read as cat, bat, mat, fat. They are not using their brain to make different sounds. Now, reading as cat, bat, mat, the last sound when it is joining, that's rhyming words. That's something different. All right. So reading doesn't happen like this. So how we teach now is phonetically, and we teach the first two sounds. We teach them to join. Now, children start making, and it's a lot of sounds. Like imagine if I have They know how to join this. Now, if I'm writing, see, they join ra, now rat, but they can also I have written. They don't know the CK rule, nothing. They keep joining rack, rack. They read this word on their own because they know to join the first sound and the last sound. The brain is made like this. So the brain reads like that. It comes to them like a picture. The beginning sounds and the last sounds, they join and they start reading like that. So please follow this rule. It will help you all a lot. Can we go to the next? And the next. So now we come to rhyming words. Now, this is something that we're very proud of. Once we have finished the vowel, with the vowel, the first two sounds, and we have taught them a lot of words, we say, now think of the words that are the same, that have the same sound in the end. So they start reading. At the same words. Now, dear parents, imagine for spellings. So this is especially for the standard 1 and 2 parents. If you have taught your child to the spelling of hat, teach a child, you know the spelling of hat, the same way you can write mat, you can write cat, you can write fat, you can write that. So many words. So like this, we teach them one word. We just teach them. See, in kindergarten, we start making them read like this. Sing. If we have taught them this word sing, now we ask them, make more words. So it is sing, sing, king. Now, rhyming word is an extremely good activity when it comes to spellings, dictation. Teach your child as many rhyming words as any word that you're teaching for dictation. Sing, king, ping. And we even teach them the blends like this, bring. Because that's a sight word we teach them. Bring. So this is how we teach them rhyming words. Now, I do see children as they grow up, they are reading big words. So now, phonetically, you can read anything. If you're good in phonics, you can read anything. So this is the spelling you all teach. Look here. It's so easy. It's a big word. The child cannot read. He will not remember the spelling. But it's very easy if he's breaking it. If he's breaking the word, the sounds. This is the. We have taught them as sight words in kindergarten. So when we say the sounds, this is what a child will write. The and her. Or even if you want, read this sound. This sound. It's much easy. The and mother. Mother, like this. Father. You can teach so many sounds. Brother, all rhyming and all have the same. So if it is lake, bake, cake, make, with same one word. So if you're teaching your child in standard 1, a spelling of make, teach him all the rhyming words that are possible with the same spelling. Bake, lake, make, sake, so that it's not one spelling that he's learning. And Ask him to read it phonetically. If he reads it phonetically, he will be able to spell it. It will not be that you have to teach him B-A-K-E, bake, B-A-K-E, bake. There's no need. He will know how to read it. So rhyming words are very good when you're teaching them to learn spellings, because then a child develops a lot of vocabulary, and with the same sound, he learns so many more words and how to spell them and how to write them. So this is something that we wanted to see. We do teach them a lot of rhyming words, and we basically teach them the rhyming words after we finish a sequence with a consonant and a vowel sound, so that it's like a recap. So it will happen for us, and it will be done in the school in KG1 and KG2, then later on in Standard 1 and Standard 2. Thank you very much. With this, I will call upon Ms. Navya, and she will be taking you to many more things.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. Today, I'll be covering the topics on blends, digraphs, and double vowel sounds. Let's start with blends. All right. Blends are nothing but they are the clusters of 2 or 3 consonants which appear together in a word. Each letter in a blend makes a sound, and these sounds are then blended together. In KG2, we teach our kids to blend the sounds. For example, you can see bat. It's b, a, t, joined to make the word bat. For example, jam, j, a, m, just joined to make the word jam. So when 2 or more consonants are blended together, but each sound of the letter is heard, it's called a blend. For example, flag. When we say flag, all the sounds are heard. L, a, g, flag. For example, spoon. When we say spoon, again, s, p, o, all the sounds are heard. So these kinds of words are called as blends. When we introduce a letter in KG1, we never give them a blend as a vocabulary. Suppose g. We don't give them g grapes or g green, because it's a blend, and here 2 sounds are heard which makes a child confused, and we don't teach them initially blends. For example, g gift, g garage, g garden, g goose. These kinds of words are introduced initially in KG1. Similarly, frog, flower, all these are different kinds of blends. Remember, blends are nothing but when 2 consonants come together and the sound of each consonant is heard. Let's move on to digraphs. Over here, we still have 2 consonants coming together, but they are going to make a completely different sound. For example, the first one, please, we have S and H. This is sir and this is her. But when we join it together, we get the sound sh. All right. And we have P and H. Her, her, which makes her. T and H, which makes th. C and H, which makes ch. Similarly, when we teach letters in KG1, for example, sir, we don't give them the vocabulary shoe. Why? Because it's a completely different sound. In that, sir is not heard. Examples of digraphs are ship, phone, thunder, children. In all these words, in the beginning sound, you can see the 2 different sounds are coming together. It makes a completely different sounds. So when 2 consonants come together and create a new sound, it's called a digraph. Yes. Let's move on to double vowel sounds. When 2 vowels come together, the first one says its name. We all know the vowels. And for example, let's take pain. Here, both are vowels, A and I. Okay? And which sound is heard when we say pain? We can hear A sound only. Let's have a look at this video for clear understanding.
When two vowels go walking, the first one does a talking. In boat you hear the O and not the A. In meat you hear the E. The A sits quietly. The second vowel you see, but you don't say.
Just the two of us together in train and pail and rain. The A speaks up, the I does not. But let me explain. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking.
In brain you hear the A, but not the I. In soap the O is clear. The A you'll never hear. In say you say the A, but not the Y.
Isn't it neat?
But
It can't be beat. It's such a dream. Don't mean to boast, but here's a toast. We're quite a team.
When two vowels go walking, the first one does a talking. I'm sorry, number two, it's such a shame. Although it gives you pain, the rule is very plain. When two vowels walk, the first one says its name. Yes, when two vowels walk, the first one says its name.
Hope it's clear from the video. See, we have seed. So here E and A, both are vowels. And which sound you can hear? It's seed, neat, goat. All the first sound will be heard. So the first one says a name while the other one remains quiet. So these are called as double vowel sounds. Let's come to the double E and double O sound. Over here, we have two E comes together and it makes a long E sound. For example, B, meat, feet, street. In all these, we can hear the long E sound. Similarly, when two O comes together, they make two different sounds. That one is long O and the other is short O. Long O as in boot, foot, balloon, igloo, like that. And the short O as in book, cook, took, good, etc. So these are the rules of double E and double O. For double E, there will be long E sound, and for double O, there will be long O and short O. All right. Thank you. Now I would like to call upon Academic Coordinator Ms. Hina Kaur to take over the session.
Miss Hina, if you can unmute.
Unmute yours.
Oh, great. I wasn't heard. I said good morning. All right. Let's start with understanding why we do phonics. Why is it so important and why we're giving such a lot of stress on it. Okay. Nearly 50% of English language follows phonics. Add rules to it, and you have nearly 95% to 97% that will be spelled using these rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through few rules. There are a lot many, but these are mostly used and very inventive. Okay, so 95% of spellings not to be learned. Let's learn only the 15% and learn our phonics very well so that we can just use them and spell. Okay, so I'll start with syllable. Thank you. Now, what is syllable? Okay, syllable is the smallest unit in any word. Okay, so how do you make a syllable? Very easy. any word, you can just break it up. How do you break it up? Every breakup that you make should have one vowel in it. For example, banana. How many syllables is banana going to have? Ba-na-na. So you break it up with everyone having at least one vowel. Okay, watermelon. Watermelon. How do we teach our children? Clap hands with it. Watermelon. Okay, so it becomes fun for the children. My name, Hina, too. Now, I saw Nivin attending, so we start with asking them to understand. I hope everyone can hear me. Someone's just writing, voice is clear. Okay, so we try to break up the words, and breaking up of the words is called syllable. Now, the longest word that can be spelled phonetically, breaking it up into syllable, is this word. Can we just see the word? Okay, ball, acorn, and you have unicorn, invisible, 7, cat, and I do have one more. That's the word, okay? A really long word. I hope I will be able to pronounce it correctly. Pneumono, ultramicroscopic, silico, volcanico, neosis. Try to break it up. New. Let's follow the rule. Everyone should have one vowel. So let's try together. New. More. No. Ultra. Micro. Scopic. Silico. Volcano. Oh my God. Coniosis. Neosis. There are 19 syllables in it. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Navya. Can you just move ahead? Now, before I start, let me just tell you in phonics, a short sound is referred to as a sound we start with. Okay, so a, b, k, d. And the long sounds are the letter names. I think we have gone through the letter names. It's going to be A, B, C. So it's going to be A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. Now, my first one is the magic E. Now, what does this do? When E comes to the end of the word, okay, it makes the vowel say its name. So we are clear with this. Name is the long sound, the name of the letter. So this is going to be a rat. A is the short sound. Rat becomes rate. So A sound can be heard in it. Okay. We similarly have many other examples like tube, tub becomes tube, cub becomes cube, cop becomes cope, kit becomes kite. Okay, so as soon as the E comes, we call it magic E because we have to make it so interesting for the children. So we call it magic E and it gets so attached to it. Okay, so whenever E is in the end, it makes the vowel say its name. So E sound becomes I sound, kite. The next rule is the bossy R. Now, bossy R, it makes the vowel change its normal sound. So it's not going to be a, it's going to be a completely different sound, like skirt, nurse, mark, Thursday, letter. I would have said air or ear, but it's letter, sound is coming now. Okay, so it changes the sound completely. Usually, what I tell my children is whenever there is an R in the middle of a word, the best way to pronounce or to get the pronunciation right is not say the R at all. So you don't say sport, you say sport. Purple is purple, it's not purple. It's not start, it's start. Okay, so when it's in the middle, don't pronounce the R at all. But if it is in the end, like helper or letter, yes, you can say the R. So a little easy for our children to understand and make the correct pronunciation. Let's go to the next one. The Taffy Y. Okay, I hope you are noticing how we have given certain names. It's like the bossy R or the magic E, so that the children can relate to it, and it becomes so funny and interesting for the child to relate, to understand, to remember. So we'll go to the next slide. Taffy Y. Okay. Now, when Y is at the end, it's going to make two different sounds. One, it's going to make the E sound, and it's going to make the E sound. Okay, let's see. So when you have, let me just see this. Okay, so when you have Y in the end, it's going to make two sounds, like I said. So you have fully, kidney, story, ferry. Now, how do we differentiate? We've just done syllable. So if it has more than one syllable, okay, you're going to use the E sound. Fully, fully, two sounds, two syllables. So it's the E sound. Okay. And fairy, kidney, you have many other. Baggy, candy. Now, when does it have the I sound? It's one syllable, one syllable. Whenever the word has just one syllable, it will be the I sound in the end. For example, fry, guy, by, sky. Okay, so this is how you differentiate. If it's got one syllable, it's the I sound. If it's more than one syllable, it's going to make the E sound. Let's go to the next root. I think it's the soft G sound. Now, normally G is said as G. The short sound is G. But if it is followed with three letters, E, I, and Y, then it is pronounced as Ch. Okay. Otherwise, it's G. Just the normal G that we have been learning. Okay. So when it comes with Y, I, or E, so Jim, Ch sound, giraffe. And this is exactly the reason when we are doing phonics, we don't usually give them giraffe as their vocabulary. Okay, we will give them gum, germ, gift. Okay, you also have some of the j sound coming in the end, like change, danger. So whenever there is an E, I, or a Y, it's a soft G sound. Else it's the normal hard G sound that we have been using, right? Now let's go to the K sound. It's the soft K sound. Soft K sound, again, when E, I, and Y, when you have these sound coming, the sound becomes S. Okay? For example, city, pencil, face. Okay. Otherwise, it's normal K sound that we have been learning, like cell. Okay, like K, count, because, clip. It's a normal sound. But if you have these three letters, E, I, and Y, they make a difference in the G sound and the C sound. Ready? Let's move on to the next one. I think it's the floss rule. And I like to call it floss. So we have our children just trying to use the floss because S, L, and S. Now, when these sounds come at the end of the letters, when you're spelling a letter, and these are at the end of the word, and one syllable, single syllable words, okay? They are going to be written as double. So it's till, E. It's a short sound, short sound. So you have till, tip, class, okay? And by making it double, you are also protecting the basic short sound of the vowel. So you have others are like whiff, puff, doll, smell, grass. Like in the beginning, I have said this, you do have some exceptions. You do have exceptions in every place. So there are exceptions like cats, dogs. Why are they? They're plural words. Okay, so it's going to maintain. Or you can even think of some sounds which can be his. Okay, you can hear the Z sound. So we're not going to write was. So it just remains with one single S. You always have exceptions to rules. Right in the beginning, I've said there are some that won't follow the rules, okay? But majority, these rules are followed. Let's go to the next rule. You have the rule. when U follows Q, you usually, whenever there is any word where you have a spelling as Q coming in, first sound, you have to write the U. Easiest way, quiet, quit, queen. Okay, all these will have a U coming in. Small rules, exceptions will always remain. And mostly I have noticed that these are the ones that we usually borrow from another language, okay? So exceptions will be there, but majority follows the rule. Let's go to the other rule. It's the CK rule. Now, we call it the super CK rule. How does a child differentiate whether the word will end with a K sound, a K, or you will use a C and a K? Okay, so whenever it's a short vowel, it's going to be CK. So it's the so you'll write CK. Sick. So E sound is coming, it's not I. So it's going to be CK in the end. Back, sound, that's the short vowel sound. So you're going to have CK coming in the end. Okay, socks, it's O, not O. So you'll have CK coming in the end. Okay, otherwise it's just normal, like silk, beak, beak. Okay, a beak of a bird, it has two vowels coming here, so it's not going to follow the rules. So you have just normal K ending in it. So you have silk, S-I-L-K, B-E-A-K, peak, P-E-A-K. Okay, now the next one is, let's have the next slide. I do have a lot of Y phonics, like I said, 95% words are using it. So reading becomes so much easy. Spellings becomes so much easy, okay? I would also like you to see the strokes and what we call them called. So there's a little video that I would like you to watch so that you understand the stroke, how we are reading. Before we go, let's look at the strokes. So you have slanting line, sleeping line, and a standing line. You have half a circle and a bump. So whenever we show the formation of it, when we say B or a B, it is standing line, go back, make a bump. Half a circle. So when you are writing a D, you make half a circle, go up, come down, make a standing line, and a tiny tail. Tails are again of two types. Let's see the two types of tails that we have. Okay, so you have D having a tail in the front, but someone like letter G being very naughty has a tail behind. So we write a half a circle, go up, join, make a standing line, and put a tail behind. If you give these formations, the child will remember it, and you will see most of our children when they are starting writing, this is how they will say it and write. So I have children in my class who have done both. They will say standing line, go up, and make a bump. Right? So this is how we relate all these strokes and give them the formation of the letter. Now, everything on the top, and that's the tail. So it's called ponytails. We just say, look, all the girls in the class have ponytails on the head. So you have O, a W, they all have ponytails. So anything on the top is ponytail. Now, why do we have these things is so that usually you will see how the letters are just written as W with just slanting lines going up and down. Why do we add a ponytail to it? It becomes joining the letters very easy. Okay, if you join the letters, suppose I want to write was. So how do I write was? It's not going to be block letters. It's going to be was. I'm sorry, I do have a board behind me, if you can see. Well, so it's was. If I have to write something like octopus or how do I join the letters? So we do have these ways of joining. Similarly, dam, right? A D with a little line. so that it goes and joins the next line. So usually we just say, okay, 3 letters we are writing. Let's not write it as block letters. They're all friends now and they're joining hands to write it in a very much beautiful manner. All right. So I hope the session was a little useful and you will remember some of the rules, because these are the rules that we are going to follow in kindergarten, and we would like the same support at home. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hina. Now over to the parents. If you all have any questions, dear parents, you all can ask and the teachers would be able to answer. It would be nice. Anything that you all feel that that you all have not understood, we can come back and we can tell you all. So please, if anybody has questions, please unmute them.
Hi, Hina ma'am. Hello.
And we can unpin, we can see the whole grid. So then it's much easier. We can just ask the parents. All right. So
Hello,
yes,
can you hear
ma'am.
me?
She was asking a question.
Yeah. So for the letter I am just confused. So we will be doing like A, right? So for the letter ice cream, I.
You asking for this letter?
Yes. I. Yes, correct.
This
Yeah.
is all right. The sound is I. It's a tiny little sound like a baby. I.
Then
that's-
how about word ice cream? So how do we pronounce? I'm just
all right.
trying
So
to
this
figure.
is why in kindergarten, we don't teach them. It will happen. The sound of the letter. The sound of the letter. This is the letter. It will come later on. As they grow older, it's a big word. They will learn that, see, each letter, the phonic sound is this and the sound. They will learn by the time they will reach standard 1 and standard 2 that it has this long sound also. It is pronounced as I as well. All right. So there are a lot of words where I is there and they will learn it. Ice cream. I think Ivy League universities, or so there are a lot of words where the sound will come. So they will learn it. But in kindergarten, we stick to the tiny sound because it's much easier to teach them as the shorter sounds, because a lot of words are there, igloo or ink. What is relevant to them, to the children, is the small sound. And when ice cream is written, if you see, if it is written, it's written with a small letter, it's not written. So it's difficult for the children to recognize. So then as a picture, we teach them, but we don't give them ice cream as a vocabulary for E. For E, we give them idli. We give them injection, insect. We give them the sound which has the same sound what they're calling the letter. All right, so we try to join the symbol and the vocabulary to start with the same sound.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, the sound for capital M is it M?
We can't hear. You're very soft.
Yeah, the sound is M or ma. Same as is for S. It is or sa.
No. If this is the letter you're talking about,
Yeah,
the sound is not is. The sound is
yeah. That's what I meant.
and the long sound is sa. We call it sa, sa.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
so to start with, we teach them as sa. This is sa, and later on we go on to s.
Okay.
But it is not is. It is not is school. It is not scooter. It is not. It is scooter. Scooter. School.
Yeah.
All right.
Sound,
That's a long way.
not...
Yes, that's a wrong when we give this sound. It is not is. So
Okay.
don't teach the children is sound. It is s, or
Yeah.
it is just the main long sound as sa. The
Okay,
Hindi
that's
letter
what I'm confusing. It is sa or s.
sa, because it will come.
Okay.
The sound like snake. You don't say a snake. You say snake. So the teachers do teach them these sounds, the short sounds also by the end of KG1 and especially KG2. From the beginning, they start with the long sound and the short sound. Sounds so that it's much easier for the children and the pronunciation becomes correct for them.
Okay.
So this is something that this is S, but the sound is S or S.
Okay. Similar for M, it is or ma. Same, that's
It is
short and long.
when you are writing this is M, but we will not call it M, we will call it ma.
Yeah, ma. It's not
Because ma, so this, yes, there is a sound as but this sound will come in the end of the word, not in the beginning. When you're reading mat, so your child is small, we are trying to teach. So if you see, you can see it is mat, it's a long sound, mat. But look at this. When you're teaching, ma, it's a mom.
Okay.
In the end, this is the difference in when we are dealing with very small children, we are trying to teach them. The beginning sounds are long and the ending sound are short. So in
Okay.
KG2, this is for the parents to understand, this is for the teachers to understand that in KG1, since they're still not reading, they're just getting them used to the letter. The formation of the letter, the symbol. So we are teaching them the long sound as ma. Call it ma. It's a long sound because they have to remember the symbol also, two jumps and a tail. This is ma. It's a long sound, but slowly in KG2, when we start teaching them two-letter words and three-letter words, that's when we teach them. Look, the beginning of the word, it's a long sound, but in the end, it's a tiny sound. So it is mom. See, so it's a full long sound in the beginning, but in the end it becomes small.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, so this is how we teach them, and you all can teach them. Beginning of the word, it's a longer sound. In the end, it's a shorter sound for all the words.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I think Ms. Yogita has raised her hand. Let's see.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, actually, now the sessions that we had today, this would be like for the whole first standard, they will be going through all this portion, right? So now for the first exam that are coming up, what is the amount of syllabus that they will have from this? Because it will be like short time now.
Not a syllable. This is not a syllabus, sir. This is how it is, you can say a skill. Phonic is like a skill to teach them. So we are teaching, if you want your son or a daughter to read well, this is how you can help your child to read a storybook. So when we were teaching you all this, or when the teacher gives you dictation, this is how it is very easy for your child to spell through syllables when he breaks the word and he makes it smaller. So it's a skill that is being given to the parents to make it easier for you to teach in the house. So it has nothing to do with the syllabus of the children. It's just a skill that we are giving to the children. And it will once they're thorough by the end of class 2, Oh, they should be thorough with this. So we are teaching in the school, you all also in the house teach them the same way. When you're doing their homework or when you're doing any reading of the portion that the teachers have given. So if you keep giving them these rules, they will remember, you will be recapping these rules and they will become very good readers or spellers. You don't have to sit and make them learn spellings.
Fine. Okay, got it. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? Any more questions or do we end the session now? All right, it was really nice, dear parents. I hope it was the session was helpful for you all, and you have all the HRFs, their numbers. Any problem at any given point you have with the phonics or the pronunciation, just send a message. The teachers will send you a recording of the sound so that you can hear it and you can use those sounds and the way how we teach in the school. If you teach the same way in the house, then your child will not be, you can say, confused at all in the house, and they will end up learning much more than what we expect. And that's all that we wanted to achieve through this session. So thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Ms. Navya, Ms. Hina Kot, and Ms. Poonam for helping us. And I hope that the session was really nice. Thank you so much, Ms. Ambika, for organizing this meeting for us. Thanks a lot. So we can end the meeting, Ms. Navya. So you all can leave the meeting.